Hey guys, I'm reviewing a brand new eyeshadow palette by Makeup Forever. This is the palette for the holiday season. I've been expecting them to come out with a palette for so long because Makeup Forever's, I think the eyeshadow is called Artist Shadows. Yeah, Makeup Forever's Artist Shadows are quality is so unbelievably good, guys. They're not powder eyeshadows, but I would say they are on par with Viseart eyeshadows, Sugar Pill eyeshadows, Natasha Denona's eyeshadows. With respect to the blendability, the pigmentation is so good. They are amazing, but they're not powder formulas. The formula of Makeup Forever, they're not powder, whereas the other three that I mentioned, Sugar Pill, Viseart, and Natasha Denona, they're all powders. I think a Makeup Forever's formula is that gelée kind of formula. The pigmentation is so good and they blend beautifully. You don't even need blending. They are just amazing with respect to the blendability, and pigmentation is on point. Now, I saw on when I saw the promo pics, I saw on Tim Talia's website that these are newly formulated eyeshadows, and my heart just sank. When companies do that, most of the time something goes wrong. So it was like, when you have such an outstanding formula, why are you changing it? I'm not sure, but although the formula is really good, Makeup Forever has been kind of stagnant. They have not been adding. They have lot of variety of shades, guys. Believe me, it's not just a bunch of shades. I think they have like over, like close to 100. I think they have excuse me, eyeshadows. They have blushes all together excuse me, mixed in one. So, but they have been kind of stagnant. The last year's holiday season, and the before that, they've just been recycling the exact same shades. Although they have so many other shades, they've just been recycling the same shades in a different packaging. So, and that too, they would come up with a 9-pan eyeshadow, and out of which one would be like a blush. The most beautiful color out of them would be a blush. That would seriously irritate me. So, but still I would buy it because the formula is really good. But last year I skipped their palette. It was like a tin, like a rectangular tin. I don't know, it didn't have a mirror, and it was very, the packaging wasn't very convincing. So, and out of the 9 shades, I think I already had 6 shades with me. So it was kind of pointless to buy it. But anyways, I'm just moving away from the topic. When I heard and when I saw the pics, I decided to get it. And also I had to see what's this all new formula all about. Is it really good, better than the original already existing one? And this is the palette. This reminded me so much of Viseart's Golden Hour palette. I'm sorry I don't have it with me right now. I could not locate it. But I will kind of compare them towards the end after swatching and speaking of the new formula and everything. So just if you're interested, stick to the end. This is the box. This retails for $49, guys. And this is called Lustrous Shadow Palette. And I'm not sure what lustrous means, because there are mattes and metallics in here, and there's also one shade which is kind of luster finish, but maybe they've just loosely used this word because lustrous is their theme, I think, for this year's holiday sets, because they have a lustrous brush set, lustrous lipstick set, lustrous, what else, faves set, and so this is called the Lustrous Eyeshadow Palette. So well, I'm not sure whether we should take it seriously. So they had this rose gold kind of pigment, like kind of smeared all over. That's their theme, their packaging theme. And they have it actually on both sides. Both sides it says Lustrous Eyeshadow Palette. Actually, Lustrous Shadow Palette. I told you guys, right? Always Makeup Forever does it. They just incorporate 2 shadows. And then eyeshadow palette, they have done it as well. Now there are 12 shadows in their terminology. There are 12 shadows in this palette, and out of which only 10 are eyeshadows. The other 2 are blushes. Again, I don't know why they do that. And the palette is made in Italy, and this retails for $49, guys, and you get 12 shadows. and each pan carries 0.05 ounce of product, which is like a full-size product. Just on an average, just for reference, MAC single pan, like full-size eyeshadow, also carries 0.05. A Boutique also contains 0.05 ounce of product, so it's like you're getting 12 full size. It is a good size, definitely. Can't say anything bad about the amount of product you get in this palette. And the blushes are the most beautiful shades in this palette are blushes. So yeah, the other neutral and very normal, very traditional shades that you see here are eyeshadows. They always do that. The most beautiful shade would end up being a blush. So this red is a blush and this purple is a blush as well. So both are matte and they look beautiful on the skin, guys. They definitely look beautiful on the skin. They blend well. I didn't have any problems with the blushes. So let's anyways swatch it. Oh wait, I didn't tell you guys the packaging. This year's packaging is very similar to last year's packaging. I would have skipped this year, but they were newly formulated and I had to see what's all about. I told you guys last year the packaging was a tin metal packaging, right? So this year is also this metal tin packaging. But I'm a little curious. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but it says here in the box 12 shadows and 1 metal palette. Now technically Makeup Forever metal palette is actually a product where it's like a magnetic palette where you can stick pans, like single individual eyeshadow pans in there. So I'm not sure if this is actually a magnetic palette where if you can remove this, you can probably actually, I'm not sure, maybe it is because they've specifically mentioned metal palette, and metal palette itself is an actual product by Makeup Forever. So maybe it is, I'm not sure. And this place, the base where this eyeshadows is placed is like a foam, it's actually foam. It's not any kind of metal kind of a thing. It's foam. So I think if you remove it, I don't know how, maybe you need like some kind of a small, very thin device or a tool to remove it. But yeah, the packaging is kind of weird. I think probably because this is a magnetic palette. That's why they place the eyeshadows on a foam kind of a material, fabric, and not in the actual palette because this is a magnetic palette. But I'm not sure I haven't tested it out. Anyways, I've spoken too long just speaking and on. So let's swatch, guys. So this, let me go column by column. Again, there are no shade names, just numbers. So I'm just not going to even say the numbers, guys. Just this first row, this column. It's a matte black, and you have a very, very muddy, dirty looking green, and then you have like a very cool toned kind of a shade. Is it brown or taupe? I'm not sure. So it's also very, very dirty looking actually on my skin tone. So those are the 3 mattes, and then you have, let's do the next row, which is this. It's like a purple shade, and then you have like a big, I think that's even a cool tone beige, and then you have like a brown shade actually, like a reddish brown, purple, cool tone, like a beige, and then reddish brown. All 3 are actually very pigmented, and all 3 are mattes as well. And then next column, all of them are metallic shades. You have like a champagne shade, golden champagne shade, you have a very golden copper shade, and then you have this purple shade. To be honest, this is lighter on the skin. Do you see? It's not as, it looks kind of darker in the pan, but lighter on my skin tone. So it's, and then finally you have the red shade. And this row also is all matte. So you have like a cool tone beige, and then you have like a creamy matte shade, and then like a red shade. All 3 are matte. So this is that row. So yeah, you guys, these are the shades that you get. To be honest, I was reminded of, okay, let's talk about this first and then the comparison. All of them really performed well. The eyeshadow look I have is in the crease and all over the outer corner, and in the crease I have this purple shade, and then all over the lid I have this coppery shade, and then just towards the end, just to give the transition, I use this shade. So this is in the outer part of the lid, and in the 2/3 of the lid I have the copper shade, and then one third of the eyelid I have the this shade, and the outer corner and all over the crease I have this shade, this purple shade. And I mixed this brown and this cream, to be honest, this cream, because this was too dark for a transition shade. So I just wanted to try and see if I could, if the shades are versatile, if they mix well, and they do mix well. And I didn't get like a lighter brown shade, and I actually got a mauve shade. So it kind of worked perfectly with my skin, with this look, because the outer corner is, and the crease is a purple shade. So formulation wise, all of them performed really well on my eyelid. They blended well, they applied well. Now I did have a tiny bit of a problem with this purple shade. I know it is a blush, but still on the eyes it actually blended and really well. I used all of them on the eyes, by the way. I used all of the shades, although this red and the purple are blushes. I did use all of them in the eyes. So, but I'm just giving a review with all of them in the eyes. All of them worked really well on the eyes, the eyeshadows and the blush. But the purple blush shade, kind of, I had a little bit problem in spreading it out, you know, and blending. But when I just deposited color where I really wanted, it really went in, and I went and blended it. It really did performed well. So all of them are really good. Now, with respect to if this is similar to the Viseart Golden Hour palette, if you're looking for like a sunset, Natasha Denona kind of sunset palette at a lower price, I'd say pick up the Viseart's eyeshadow palette, just because, first of all, technically these, the sunset colors here, the red and the purpley shades, they are not even eyeshadows, they are blushes, right? So I don't recommend you use it on the eyes. I was testing them out, so I just used it on the eyes today. Otherwise I would not use them on the eyes. I assure you that I will not use these on the eyes. So discounting these two eyeshadows, this is just a very, very plain old ordinary eyeshadow, guys. And oh, before I forget, this purpley shade is not very, very pigmented. You have to layer it. At least on my skin tone, I had to layer it. So it's not one swipe pigmentation with a brush. You have to layer it, but 2 layers would do the trick. If you use a finger, it goes on really pigmented and very it looks pretty. So yeah, if you just, I probably was attracted when I saw the purples and the red, but unfortunately they are not eyeshadows, they are blushes. So if you're just looking for a very sunset fiery look, pick up the Viseart's Golden Hour, because it has a purple, but not such a, I like the purple in the Viseart eyeshadow palette, but this is really, really beautiful, guys. This is such a beautiful shade, but I know that, but you can't use it on the eyes. So the Viseart's Golden Hour does have a purple. It does have a fiery, beautiful orange shade. Actually, it's more orange than this coppery. This is more, where is that? This is more of golden copper and pale kind of copper. That is very fiery, in your face orange copper. And then they do have like a very golden, rose gold shade, and also like a pale gold shade. That eyeshadow palette is really, really amazing. The shadows perform well, but I don't know, guys. I'm a little disappointed that they again incorporated 2 blushes in the eyeshadow palette. It's just me. I'm not a big fan when they do it. But yeah, that's my review. They all perform good. All of them perform well on the blushes perform well on the cheeks. They also perform well on the eyes. The eyeshadows perform well on the eyes as well. But it's just if you I mean, these two are such trending shades right now, this red and the purpley kind of. The sunset look itself is trending so beautifully right now in the makeup industry, but they decided to include it, but not as eyeshadows. It's a little confusing. So yeah, if you're interested in the shades, pick them up, but I don't know. Viziet's eyeshadow also retails for $49, by the way, but you do get only 9 eyeshadows. Here you get 12, but then again, you get only 10 eyeshadows here, right? The other 2 are blushes, so you get only 10 eyeshadows here, and in Viziet's you get 9 eyeshadows and no blushes. Obviously, I have used Viziet's eyeshadows as blushes, and they perform really well as well. So yeah. Hope my video was useful. I was kind of here and there and also rambling a bit. So yeah, hope you guys found this video useful. I think Makeup Forever, you'd be able to find this product on Sephora. That's where I bought mine, and also Makeup Forever's website as well. So yeah, other than that, I don't think you'd be able to find it anywhere else, I think. Hope you guys found this video useful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe. Bye.